Air Robinson, Clarence Robinson. My Hebrew name is Midbar. Now, as a man of, or a Jew of color, or a black Jew, I will respond to either one. But I don't get into labels or major distinctions. And sometimes I wonder about the term Jew of color, because that seems to me to have a big umbrella. You know, you can have different ethnicities, different groups of people that can say I'm a Jew of color. But to say I'm a black Jew, to say I'm a black Jew, to me, adds something different to it because a lot of the things that we are subjected to as black people, as black Jews, I think maybe might be not as on the same level as Jews of color. And I have no empirical evidence to data for that. It's just my own instinct and just being around people. But I will respond to either one. A Jew of color, a black Jew. I, I remember as a kid that whenever I heard the term Jew, I was always afraid in some way to use the term Jew because I always thought it was an offensive term. I didn't know whether just saying the word Jew was okay. So for a long time, even into my adult age, I didn't use that particular term. I've long since learned that's not the case. But I remember someone asked me about my journey, why Judaism, what brought you here, and questions like that. And at one time, initially, because I gotten so many questions like that, I somewhat became annoyed by it. But later on, as I thought about it, whenever I would answer that question, the answers were the same, but with added more information to it. So I found myself learning more about myself, actually really engaging in who I am as a Jew, actually really knowing who I was, and accepting that and being grateful and proud of that. And why Jewish? I'm reminded of a passage I read years and years ago. It says that did the apple fall from the tree or did the tree release the apple? I apply that question to myself that I become Jewish or did Judaism select me? And then you can ask that question, I can ask it. Whatever answer comes up for you or for anybody else, that's fine. I'm not solely really concerned about what the answer is. I just know that I am here and this is what I am. And I remember listening to Yahid last week and some of the things that he went through as a young black man, period. I've gone through that with myself. And actually, I've gone through those as an adult, from the physical altercation to the name calling. And the last time that happened, it was not that long ago. I would say about 15 years ago, right in downtown Clayton, I had an altercation with a couple of young white men, young boys, me and another black man, and the N word was thrown around, and the guy walked to me and pushed me, and I asked him don't do it again. Of course, he did it again, and voila, everything just went out the window. But anyway, those are the kind of things that I have been subjected to all of my 70 years of life. So I remember being asked the question about being Jewish, the statement is not easy, it's hard. And I replied to myself, well, being black is not exactly a walk in the park either, but I've done that most of my life, so I can do this too. But I'm at a point where the more I learn about Judaism, the more I learn about myself. The more I appreciate it, the more I appreciate myself. And the journey where I'm at, and it's a continuing journey. I'm evolving daily. A lot of my responses and my definition of myself have changed, have altered from one day to the next, and I'm happy for that because I don't want to become stagnant in one place. I need to keep learning about me, about Judaism, and what it means to me, because it means a lot to me. I remember talking to my sister on the phone when I told her, this was years ago, she said, I told her where I was at and what I was doing. Her response on the phone was, oh, well, at least you believe in something. So all I could do was laugh at that. I mean, I didn't expect her to wholeheartedly go, oh, that's great. But she has come to accept that, or accept me, and realize that that's me, and that's not going to change. But I've had overwhelmingly great support from most of my friends. I mean, the questions keep coming, but I know it's out of curiosity, and I know it's not out of concern, and I've even felt that some might have a little tinge of envy about that, not necessarily about Judaism, but me being where I'm at. And I share as much as I can, or as much as they want to hear. But I get questions about that all the time, constantly. So, and that's meaningful to me, and I appreciate that. And then, so it's a journey that I still look forward to every day, and I expect the growth to continue. I expect the inward looking and the perspective to continue, and it has. And I'm grateful for that because it means a lot to me to be who I am. And meeting a lot of people as many as I do, I think most who didn't know me, who know me now, have come to see me as Bear, as Midbar, as Clarence, and not just as a black man, but I am still that, and I will always be that. And I think it's one of the things that um, people engage in once you get to know someone that's different from you, or come from a different space than you do. Getting to know them, you could see them as not just that black person, that white person, that brown person, but as that person who happens to be black, brown, or what have you. And that's a good thing, because we'll never forget that that's what I am, because I am reminded of that constantly. And that's okay, as long as in the manner that I'm reminded of it is acceptable to me, and I can do that. So here I am. Again, I've had my trials and tribulations. I've had my confrontations, verbally, physically, and I deal with each one differently because each one of them come to me in a different way. I'm not big on the physical stuff, but if it's there, you do what you got to do for self-preservation, protection and stuff. So I have had to do that. I've been pulled over by police all over this area. I've actually had two local police officers in the county, not county cops, but pull their guns out on me because something happened in the neighborhood and a dark-skinned man was seen driving by, and I happened to be driving into my parking spot, and boom, two of them pulled up and pulled their pistols on me, the whole 9 yards. So, and I've never been very quick to anger, but there have been times when I've thought about that, and had I been like a go off the handle, if you will, that I'm not sure where I would be at right now or how I would be right now because of that. So I'm grateful for that too, and I think that comes from my grandmother, blessed memory, who actually mentored me and taught me how to survive in this world. I mean, her herself were the children of sharecroppers in Louisiana, so I know what she had to go through and what they had to go through, and I was taught and told and listened to the stories. So I know it was not easy, but I know self-preservation is the way you have to go in order to survive. Otherwise, you would not be looking at my pretty face right now. So that's my story, Morning Glory. But anyway, I am glad to be here to do this. And at some point in time, if you ever want to know more about me, my story, no matter what it is, being a black Jew or just being a black period, I am open and willing to share whatever information that you would like. So on that note, I'm going to say bye.